And we're back. You're watching Sports Federation TV. Now, there's over 200 sports played in the Western Cape and in the country. And in SASCOC, and under the Western Cape Confederation of Sports, we have about under 30 sports that are officially registered. One of those sports is bodybuilding. And joining me now is Melissa Wenzel, who's going to tell us more about the sport and what's happening there in the Western Cape. Hello, Melissa.
Hi, Lynn. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm very happy that you're joining us. So how did you get involved in the sport of bodybuilding?
Well, like a lot of youngsters, I believe, I saw a magazine back in the, give away my age, early 90s. And it wasn't a natural athlete, it was an enhanced athlete. And that's also why I want to come in and say that I represent natural bodybuilding, and there are a number of bodybuilding federations around there. Because also there is this misperception that if you're going to do bodybuilding, that you're going to get big muscles and you're going to become all man and things like that. Because people are probably looking at me and thinking, bodybuilding, but she's so tiny, she doesn't look like anything. That's because I'm a natural bodybuilder.
So there's a distinction. You said
a
natural and you said enhanced.
Yes.
So what's the essential difference?
Well, the essential difference is that as a natural bodybuilder, when people think bodybuilding, they think steroids. As a natural bodybuilder, you're not allowed to use any banned substances. So in effect, that means even there are medications that you can use that would actually have you testing positive. So that's why we actually use the WADA list, the drug testing list, and the South African Institute of Drug-Free Sports. Because I know when I go to the doctor, I'm like a pain. Because I come and then he prescribes this, and I take out my little handbook and I'm like, no, you can't give me this. And he says, Melissa, just give me the book. And then he actually goes through it, because there are a lot of benign things that actually would show up positive as a test. And then there's this misperception also that if you test positive, you must have been using some kind of drug or some kind of thing like that. But I mean, it could even just be, for example, a medication. Because a while back, not too long ago, caffeine was a banned substance. So if you find yourself drinking copious quantities of coffee, you could actually test positive, because caffeine is an enhancer. That's why people use it before they work out. It gives them more energy.
I choose coffee.
Perspire. Yeah, so that is basically also what the distinction is all about.
Yeah, well, now when people think bodybuilding commercially, we think, Arnold Schwarzenegger and that kind of thing. But what are the different components in the sport, natural bodybuilding?
Well, when you say components, what do you mean exactly?
What exactly is the person that is competing in the sport trying to achieve?
Well, we try to achieve exactly the same thing, but with natural means. So you will have lower than normal or considered healthy body fat, because your muscles only really show when your body fat is low. So you will be looking at symmetry, definition, size. Symmetry is basically whether the top and the bottom match, because there's a lot of guys, and I will say guys, people are going to hate me for this, but they build what I call nightclub muscles. The guys with the big upper bodies and the teeny tiny skinny
no leg
jeans.
day.
Yes. So I mean, yeah, you'd look at them and you're like, the top and the bottom don't match, like those bulldog cartoon kind of
Johnny
characters.
Bravo.
There we go. So basically the top and the bottom must match, like in the left and the right have to match also, because also your dominant side, if you're right-handed, things on the right tend to be more developed. Right. So you actually need to be balanced.
So you're looking at symmetry, you're looking about muscle development and the symmetry thereof. And
yes, and you're also looking at shape. And the person need to have some size, because I mean, you can't be a defined, like let's say a marathon runner, they're very skinny, they don't need to have carry a lot of weight, so they will be defined, but I mean, you have to have size also, because that is important. But right. Symmetry and balance, proportion is important.
You've mentioned diet, and I was just thinking, the science of eating and the science of what makes you fat and what doesn't is constantly evolving. How is your sport responding to that? Because you've got the carb fueled athletes, and then you've got the low carb fuel or the fat fueled athletes. In bodybuilding, how do they come to the party in terms of that kind of nutritional?
But in terms of nutrition, basically what you want to do is, as you will follow a more balanced diet, and then you will taper down your carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are basically what hold onto the water and give you that bloated feelings, also the feel-good foods. So that is basically what you look at, because also what is evolving along with that is the supplementation industry. And a lot of people are just like fat burners and whey protein, and that is just it. In fact, I actually wrote about There's whey protein. There's actually different kinds of whey proteins, and then there's also casein, which is also like a milk protein. But that's the one that nobody really cares about. Nobody really knows about it, but it is also important. And the thing is, protein holds onto muscle, and women especially don't like protein. They will eat pastas and they'll eat like pastry things. See, also the carby foods. Yes, yes, that's what they do. So I mean, your protein is very important.
All right.
It is extremely important.
So what is your involvement in the sport currently?
Currently, I am the union secretary. So basically, I am, and I also run the Western Province National Bodybuilding Union Facebook page. So whenever you have a question, it basically will come to me. If I can't answer it, I will send it on to the executive, and then they'll give me an answer, and then I'll forward it. But I basically, as I said, I deal with all correspondence. So if there's any issues or when putting out information, if you want to know something, then I'm basically the person that you deal with, keeping records of the minutes and all of those things. A lot of paperwork, not a lot of talking, a lot of writing and recording.
And you know everything.
Not everything.
If you're the secretary,
I know, yeah. But under these high stress conditions, I don't know.
Okay. So we spoke about why people would want to do the sport. Are we seeing involvement happening more when people are, say, in their teenage years or even younger than that?
Well, if you will notice, whenever you see pictures of little kids, they're always doing a bicep pose. Everybody knows what the double bicep is, whether it is Usain Bolt's pose or take on it, but everybody knows what a bicep is. Everybody knows Arnold Schwarzenegger. People want to train, they want to have muscles, they want to look good. So we actually do have kids as young as under 13 in our union federation federation shows. We have from under 13 up until under 23. Those are the age groups. So there is an interest from a very young age. And I mean, obviously not going to be using very heavy weights and building very big muscles, but it's about instilling a love and a passion and the discipline that goes with it. Because I mean, for me, the eating was the worst part. I did bodybuilding. I didn't last very long. I said I cannot deal with white food. Well, it's either white or it's green. It's either broccoli or it's the egg whites or it's white fish or it's chicken breast. I was like, no, my taste buds are going to die a slow and miserable death. So that is one of the things. It's very important. And I mean, there is a love for it. And what you build, actually, you can play other sports and things as well. There is a transfer, and the discipline that you have in the sport is actually discipline that you can carry through your life. And I mean, there is an in season and there's an off season, but I mean, your life doesn't need to change or stop. Because like for me, I'm not competing now currently, but I also play softball. And thanks to my training and things, I can basically say that has actually helped me with my performance, even my focus and my strength and my endurance even. Because it's not, a lot of people think bodybuilding, heavy weights, people that can't move, inflexible, things like that, but that is not true.
So you mentioned things like focus and strength and endurance as some of the benefits of competing in the sports. Is there anything else that you'd like to touch on in terms of the benefits for those people? I mean, we all know you look good. You look good if you're a bodybuilder generally, but mentally and physically, the feeling and the benefits.
Well, it's like basically there's so much confidence that goes with it, because your body is capable of such a lot of things. You are now able to do things that you couldn't do previously. You are even, for me also, it's artistry. Your body is like marble, and you sculpt it. You have control over your body. There's a lot of things you don't have control over, but your body and your life, that is what you have control over. So for me, there's a lot of discipline involved, and if you do too many shows, like some people diet very heavily, and they get like, when you have these, people have these mood swings and they go crazy because they're not getting in enough nutrition. But I mean, the benefits far outweigh any of the negatives, especially when you're doing it naturally, because there's a lot of people that when you look at them, they don't look their age, because it's like a fountain of youth kind of a thing. Because when you are training, you can't train and not eat properly. You can't train and smoke or drink or whatever, because the thing is also with your body, it's going to show. Whenever you play a sport, if you miss a training session or two, or you didn't train for the week because of work was hectic, it's not really going to make a difference. But the higher up you get in bodybuilding, when you miss out or you eat the wrong thing, it is going to show. Or if you didn't train or you didn't taper properly, it is going to show. So the
commitment and discipline is essential for the top competitors, or those who want to achieve medals and that sort of thing. So in terms of the sport and the levels that one can eventually compete in, what are the possibilities for those involved in the sport in the Western Cape?
Well, in the Western Cape, we do still have the Western Province Bodybuilding competition. That will be in September, and then we have a national show, which is at the end of September, and that is to qualify for the World Championships, which is in October. So you can, but the problem is that sponsorship is an issue, and the sport can be quite pricey.
What does your federation need in terms of assistance?
Well, actually, basically for us, just getting the word out, exposure would help us tremendously, because from there you'll be able to get sponsorship, you'll be able to have more awareness and people knowing what's going on. Because bodybuilding, unfortunately, is like a subculture. People think of bodybuilders as freaks. They have no life. They just want to build their muscles. They're narcissistic. You can't have a conversation with them, kind of a thing. And that is completely untrue. I mean, we are people like everyone else. We have other interests outside of the sport. So I mean, it's just about awareness. And even with bodybuilding, there are a number of different federations, and we stand out because we actually ascribe to the natural way and being tested.
So any exciting tournaments coming up soon?
Well, coming up now, currently we have the youth show that is going to be held at Ravensmead High School. It's about empowering the youth, especially now in Youth Month, and with all these tragedies that are befalling children, and also there's not a lot of positivity out there. So we actually have a show that starts, I think the age is under 7. So obviously they haven't been working out or whatever, really training seriously. But I mean, it's just about getting them on stage, getting them into falling in love with the show, falling in love with the sport. Because also, like, the training, besides the training, there's posing and there's a whole lot of other things.
It's fun.
There's an entertainment aspect to it. I remember a couple of years back watching a little kid. He was like, I think he was under 30. He posed to PIMP. I can't get to the guy's name, not the rapper, 50 Cent.
B.I.G.
Yeah.
B.I.G. P.I.M.P.
PIMP,
yes.
But he was awesome. He was tiny, okay, he had abs and everything, but I mean, it was just, so obviously that kid's self-esteem and confidence, it just grows from there.
So your facilities, are you utilizing specific gyms, or where are the training facilities for people who are competing officially in your code?
Okay, we currently don't have any specific facilities, but there are some clubs that actually, I can actually only think of 2. There's one in Bishop Lavis and there's one in, I can't think of the other place. But generally people are training with coaches, then they would be training at the commercial gyms. Like we have people in Zone, we have people in Virgin Active. Because also what makes us different is we have clubs, but we also have individuals. So there isn't any disadvantage to whether you belong to a club or whether you come as an individual. And you register with us, you register on the day. So if you've never stepped on stage or whatever, you can just come. You don't need to belong to a club.
All right. And they can get involved by having a look at your Facebook page.
Yes.
And do you have a website?
No, it's not really active at the moment. So rather it would be best to actually go, because I mean, if you have internet access, you can go the Facebook route anyway.
All right.
And please like our page.
So thank you, Melissa Wenzel, for joining us. And if you want to get involved in the sport, please like the Western Province Bodybuilding. Western Province National Bodybuilding, that's the Facebook page if you want to get involved in the sport. And Melissa Wenzel is your girl, is your woman. After the break, we've got tennis joining us, so don't go anywhere.